America, wake the fuck up. All right? We gotta wake the fuck up as a species, man. We not doing well. We are not doing well, America. We are not doing well, world. We are not doing well, universe. We're not doing well. I'll tell you why. So, I went out last night. I was celebrating a friend's birthday. And, every once in a while, we'll get together with the boys and catch up. I mean, we're all living our own lives. We're doing work, school, education, investments, family, personal time, things like that, right? So, we're all in our 30s. And I'm listening to my friend talk about the job environment that he's in right now. And this job is creating this barrier to growth, stating that you have to do X in order to get Y, right? So there's a strategy that corporate world uses where it's like, where we have them by the balls, right? It's this strategy in corporate world where we're not going to give you what you're looking for, but we're going to keep you where you're at, right? And I remember the first and last time that I came across this shit, I said, fuck you. And I dipped out of that corporate job. And I've been there 2.5 years, and they was on some bullshit. And that was my first corporate job and my last corporate job, because I said, there's no way that I'm going to continue working for people. This is the strategy and implementation. And I was working for the nation's largest, I'm not even going to name names, but I was working for the largest real estate oriented, it was a specific real estate field that this company was in. And I said, nah, I'm not doing this, and I do really good work, and my friend does really good work. And I'm like, dude, first of all, you're a businessman, right? Any idea that comes across your plate, you're going to try and implement that into your life so that you could create a better lifestyle for yourself. Like you're oriented towards that mindset, that way of being. Like you're just going to do that. If somebody tells you to buy this, because if somebody told you to buy water, right, of a certain brand, because they said the stocks are going up and that water is going to be worth $50 and you could buy bottles today for $10, right? You're going to make that kind of investment. Like that's just the type of person that you are. So I said, look, imagine if everything that you heard out there is just 99.9% bullshit. First of all, like that's just the way that the world is. Like everybody's selling information. You have to pick and choose where you're going to gather this information from so that you can distill and implement what is necessary for you to get to the next step, or make you get that peace of mind that you're looking for in the next step, or whatever it is. I mean, if you want to struggle in your next step, there's a certain strategy involving that. But so I'm sitting down and I'm listening to my friend. And I'm hearing everything that should not be happening for somebody who's looking to break free of that mold, where the corporate world is keeping him, this specific company in the corporate world is keeping him down. They're using these medieval restraining tactics, right? Where the strategy again is, we don't want him going anywhere. We're going to keep him here, but we're not going to allow him to grow, right? So that's the bottom line. My friend is caught, right? And then the storyteller, I mean, some of my mentors would be, very proud of me to use these kinds of terms, where the mind creates a storyteller strategy, where it's like, I like getting slapped in the face, and I'm gonna keep that momentum because it is familiar and it is something that I'm used to. So you wake up every single day and it's like a slap in the face, but you're gonna get up and you're gonna go to work because you're, one, thankful for a job in this economy, or number two, you're very happy of the close proximity of the job as opposed to traveling into the city where you're doing 2-3 hour commutes, or number three, where it's like they pay somewhat of a decent rate and I'm able to afford some type of lifestyle. And it's like, I get all of that. Get that shit the fuck out of the way. Let's really start talking about business. What the fuck do you want out of life? Like, do you want to stay where you're at and wonder what could have been? Because companies are looking for people like you, where you could just walk into an interview and you could say, look, I'm used to working. I'm used to trying to create high quality shit out of low quality shit, right? So you got these low quality companies who are starving. They're absolutely starving their workers of growth, starving their workers of mental stimulation, starving their workers of any type of incentive to continue working in these environments, right? And they're eventually going to go away. But, you know, these companies, well, actually, I can't even determine that because, you know, this shit is very, very common today. Shit worker and shit companies are very, very common today. But there are companies that are, like, there are recruiters for these companies that are literally starving in the same way that you're starving for some crumb, right, of grace, where it's like, wow, there's somebody out there, there's a company out there that's actually in line with where I want to go, where I want to be in life. And I'm telling them, like, you better fucking be on some interviews every single week, at least one, and just go there. And it's like, you don't have to be afraid. You could literally just call it as it is. Call a fucking spade a spade. It's like, look, man, for a decade and a half that I've been working, it's like I've been very, very used to working for companies that just don't give a shit. And it's like, the last thing that I want to do is walk into this interview and you promise me something very similar. It's like, I don't want that experience anymore. It's like, what is it that sets you apart from other companies that are just going to make me feel like I'm going to be taken care of? Because I want to provide that same level of quality care, that same level of feeling. It's like, I could walk into work and I could work with my coworkers and I could understand what we're doing and get you guys where you need to be. I want to feel like that as well. Being a part of this working environment. It's like, if you guys have something like that, I would love to see. I want to do a tour. Like when can we do a tour and we could see if this is a good fit? And then maybe we could talk price and see what it is that I need. And it's like, if it's absolutely astronomical that I can't give you that you can't give me what I want, it's like, look, we can see how close we can get. That's fine. It's like, the most important thing in my life is to somewhat get a good salary, a good standard of living, so that I can create the environment that I could help implement myself into this environment that you guys are looking to create. What would that look like for you? What would that feel like for you? There are companies starving for that communication straight off of the bat. So I told him, I was like, you got to get your ass to these interviews, man. Like, you got to and like, I could see the world starting to open up, where it's like, well, what happens if this? And what happens if that? Well, how do I talk about this? How do I talk about that? Well, it's like, look, guys, it's very common sense. It's like, you've been working for shit. You've been working for shit companies your whole fucking life, right? How do you create this environment where you could standardize that life, where you could standardize and just, you don't have to have a stigma about it, like, oh my God, you know, we're talking about X company on my resume. And it's like, look, guys, I'm surprised you even gave me a call back. You know, it's like, usually with a roster like that of shit companies, it's like, I could only imagine you're looking at it as like, oh, this boy is lost. It's like, I'm very thankful for you calling me back, or, you know, you called the recruiter directly instead of shuffling your paperwork through the mud. You know, we all know how to make a call and make shit happen. We all know how to do that. Well, why not do it in your career? You know, it's like, very good. Good strategy. Get on the phone and make fucking calls and get shit done, you know, without having to go through the process that every other person wants to go through. It's like, very good. But, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to my friend and I'm getting the information that I need to just determine, is like, dude, this is the actual feelings that you have are born from the shit that you've been dealing with for a decade and a half. It's only natural that you feel afraid to let go of that. But call shit. Call it that. Don't be afraid. It's like, we all know what it's like to work for shit companies. We all know what it's like to mull every single fucking day of our lives working for a shit show company, working for a shit show pay, working for shit show benefits, only to end up and come home to your shit show lifestyle and your shit show bank account. We all know what that's like. How do we bridge that gap from shit show mentality to, wow, I actually have something decent, something that I actually prayed for, something that I actually want to live for? How do we bridge that gap? The first thing, again, is to just admit it. Because people on the other side, that's what they want to hear. Is like, we all know what it's like to be born, have our lifestyle be born of this environment, right? So now you're in this environment And you're trying to figure out, well, how do I get to the other side? How do I get to where the grass is greener? How do I make myself a productive person in life without having to feel like I'm like this is all that it's ever going to be? And again, it comes down to, we all know what it's like. We all know what it's like, and I'm looking for something more. Do you have something that can help me get there? Do you have something that lines up a little bit more with what I imagine life can be? And it's like, tell me more about that. What is it that you guys have in stock? What is it that you guys have lined up? What is it that I can do to get on board with that? Because I'm a hard fucking worker. My friend is a hard fucking worker. Will get his ass up early and head into work. Get his ass up early and head into work. Work late. Work 60-hour work weeks on salary just to get fucking work done. And I know what that's like, because guess what I've been doing? The same stuff. So I get it. Like, you want to create this environment where you can apply the same level of hard work ethic and actually feel like something is being accomplished, something is being done, that you could come home and all of a sudden you look at your bank account after 6 years and you're like, holy shit. Oh my God, after mortgage and bills and taking girls out or taking partners out and whatever, after all of that, you got money in your bank account, bro, you're doing good, right? And now you get to meddle around with, well, how creative can I get with investments and do all that kind of stuff. So great, right? Great lifestyle, and something that I think everybody should be working towards. Again, there are just going to be categories of life that people want to be in. But this is not speaking for the people who are where they're at. This is speaking for the people who have an idea of where they want to go. You have to have that, right? You have to have that incentive, right? That incentive, like, oh my God, I have a thought, and this thought could actually be reality because I see other people having that. This is the path. How do I get there? You start, again, one, call it like it is, right? Like, this is an AA meeting. It's like, come to reality, admit you got a problem. My problem is I like dealing with shit. I like trying to create high quality stuff out of low quality stuff. It's never gonna happen. You're not an alchemist. You're not here to turn rocks into gold. You're here to work with something better along the path. And honestly, like, for a company like that, in this specific example with my friend, it's like, you're never gonna work your way up. There's no vertical movement. There's no lateral movement in companies like that anyway. They're just looking to keep people where they're at so that they could be all holly jolly and not bear any kind of financial pain, right? And then he's telling me, he's like, I'm chopping up the numbers, I'm determining exactly how much my bonus should have been allocated towards my regular pay. And then it's like, bruh, imagine you have a job, right? And your very nature is to microanalyze every single penny that comes into your bank account from this company. Imagine that level of distrust, that level of dishonesty that this company has installed in you, right? I know he's going to look at this video and be like, damn, he's spitting facts again, but this is the level of, that shit don't make no sense, bro. That I would hope that people who are just a little bit, maybe a page ahead in the game, right, would be telling their friends and family, right? Because we all need a little bit more of this. What the fuck are you doing? Wake the fuck up, Like, the strategy isn't, I'm happy where I'm at. The strategy is, holy shit, there's actually fires going on in my life and I have no fucking clue how to put them out, or just walk away from bullshit. It's like, if you want to play in that sandbox where it's like, I'm just happy that they give me grains of sand, where there's a whole sandbox on the other end of the playground where it's like abundantly full of sand, like infinitely replenishing sand. Sounds like a Neopets thing. But you get what I'm saying. Like, there's no need for you to drag this on any further. If you got something you want to change in your life, admit where you're at. Admit it. And just come to the conclusion that there's a better option for you. And you have to go out there and actually physically get your ass up and go and do something. Hit the computers. Hit the whatever. Get outside. Go to where you need to go. Ask the questions that you need to ask. What would it feel like if I was to integrate myself in this company? What would that look like for you guys? It's like, look, I know what it's like working for companies and not knowing if you're going to even have a job at the end of the day, or feeling like I'm just here so I could get a paycheck. we all know what that, we 100% all know what that kind of job, what that feels like. And it's like when you get to, and again, these are stages in your life. Like you could work a multi-million-dollar position, you could feel the same level of shit, right? You could feel the same way as somebody working an entry-level job, where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. This has no, I feel like I'm not being productive with my hours. It's like, look, guys, we're all investors. It's just depending on what it is that we want to invest our time in. Whether you're working a job, a W-2, a 1099, you're self-employed, or you're running a company that does the work for you and you oversee the operations, whatever it is. Or you just, I don't know, you have a shit ton of money and all of a sudden your money makes money for you. I don't know that lifestyle. But, I work with people who don't know that lifestyle either. So, what is it that, how can people transition? Again, it's admitting you have a problem, you like the shit show lifestyle that you're dealing with, or you have an affinity towards that. Again, I've worked with people and I live with people and I've been with a community of people that have just been used to getting it out of the mud. Like that's just the way that it is. So, that lifestyle is going to grant you some certain type of work ethic. It's like, I'm going to get up every single day and I'm going to work. But you get to pick and choose. What is it that you want to do with that time? How is it that that's going to influence you for the rest of your life? How is it that that's going to influence you? The 8 hours a day that you spend at work should have some type of, not only financial benefit, but also should have some type of moral, ethical, should have some level of pleasure, right? I'm not saying that you should be able to go to work and feel like on top of the world all the time. Like, the concept of work is handling problems, or there is a problem and somebody's willing to dish you out some money, a paycheck, for you to handle that. Do really good at that. Be really good at that. Be willing to do more than that and advertise that. How is it that you're going to advertise that? It's like, again, admitting where you're at. I've been here and I've been doing this strategy with these companies and I just don't see how that's a good fit for me anymore. I want something different. Can you guys be that? Are you guys that? What is it? Where are you guys? What is your thing? And you're going to meet the people who are like, yep, you're going to be a good fit for our company, as long as X, Y, and Z, we could hit the salary, we could come up and meet you on this, or, after 6 months, we could meet you on this, we could renegotiate, but here's what we got. And now you're cooking with gas, now you're conversating with people, and you never have to be afraid again. You never have to have the lifestyle where you feel like you're hiding this fact. It's like, I'm not too happy about my work career. We get it, guys. I understand. I know what that's like. So again, go out there, have fun. If anybody's got comments or questions or concerns, hit me in the DMs. I would love to chat about this kind of stuff, man, because I really do feel very strongly about this. I believe everybody should go for more. I believe as long as you have the certain characteristics that can help you get there, I believe that you deserve to have that stepping stone strategy in your life where it's like, I know that I want to be here, but I have to start from here, but I want to progress along the way. I think everybody deserves a little bit of that, to implement it, to flex on that strategy once in a while in their life. So get good at it, because it's going to help you. These are the kinds of things that are going to help you get from point A to point B in life much quicker, much sooner, and live a happier life sooner. All right, guys, take it easy.